and welcome to In the Kitchen with Mary Mac. Today we have a crockpot recipe for you for summertime, or wintertime, or fall or spring, or whenever time. This is a really good one, Crockpot Beef Burritos. This is a recipe that you can make several different things with, but we're just calling it Crockpot Beef Burritos because that's what fits. So, after many scribbles and crossouts, that's what it is. It is what it is. So what you'll need for this is about a 1.5 to 2 pound beef roast. It can be an arm roast, a chuck roast, any kind of an inexpensive cut of beef that you can use. You'll need some burrito wrappers of your choice, your favorites. You'll need some cooked rice. You'll need some cooked black beans, a variety of vegetables that you like, and a marinade that you're going to marinate your beef in. So this is one of those things you can put in the crock pot in the morning before you go to work, and it'll be ready when you come home. The meat will be ready. So if you get all of your vegetables prepped and have them in the refrigerator in containers, you'll be ready to go. You'll be all ready to go when you get home. So here's the marinade. 1/4 cup of oil. I would not use olive oil. I would use light oil, canola oil, something like that, with not a ton of flavor because you're adding a lot of spices and flavors into this that you don't want to get mixed up with olive oil. So 1/4 cup of oil, 2 tablespoons of cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of lime juice, 1.5 teaspoons of cumin, 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder, and 3 cloves of minced garlic. And put that into a Ziploc bag and mush it together real good. And then put your beef roast, from which you have trimmed most of the fat off of it, if it's had a lot of fat on it. I look for a more lean roast so you don't have to do all that trimming. Put your roast in there and zip the bag shut. Let as much air out as you can without having a disaster. And put your roast in there and kind of smush the spices all around on your roast. And then what I did was I put it in a bowl and put it in my refrigerator overnight and let it marinate. And you might want to turn that, if you do this in the evening, turn it a couple times, before you go to bed, and then just leave it marinate overnight. In the morning, take your Ziploc bag to your crock pot and open your crock pot first, open your Ziploc bag second, and put your roast into your crock pot with all of that juicy stuff with it. Don't just drain off your marinade or something. Just go ahead and dump all the marinade right in there with the roast. It will add to the flavor. Now you're going to just let this cook on low for 6 to 8 hours. So if you're at work longer than 8 hours, or it takes you longer to get home, don't worry. It'll be fine because this gets a lot of juice on it. So it really stays nice when it's cooked. Now, when you're ready to have your meal, you want to make some rice, a couple cups of rice. White or brown rice is fine, whatever you prefer. Have your black beans ready. Open them, rinse them, and heat them. Corn is good to have for this also. A variety of chopped vegetables, like I said before, tomatoes, onions, jalapenos, green peppers, red peppers, orange peppers, yellow peppers, any sort of thing that you want to put in this. You also might want to have some salsa or some pico de gallo, some queso, some shredded cheese, anything like that. Now, I made burritos with this, but you could also make burrito bowls, which are a very popular thing. Where we live in Western Pennsylvania, oddly enough, burrito bowls are very, very popular. So if you're going to make a burrito with it, you just put, I forgot about the meat part, shredding the meat. Sorry, I jumped the gun there. When you come home from work and you're ready to handle that roast, take the roast out of the crock pot and set it on a plate and take out if the bone fell out or anything like that fell off of it. You want to kind of clean your juice out a little bit there and take your roast and shred the meat up. I always clean it really well. I clean any fat off or gristle or anything like that, take it off, and then shred the beef up and put it back into the juice and stir it up so that the beef is really well coated with the juice. It's nice and juicy. Now we're to the assembly part. Geez, I just get ahead of myself. So if you're going to make a burrito, put some rice down and put your meat down. Sometimes I like to put the cheese underneath it so it melts, depending upon what you like. But Just add your rice, beef, any vegetables you want into it and fold that up in there. These are really good with corn with jalapenos, anything. I love to have a lot of vegetables in my burrito. I know a lot of people only like meat in theirs. Not naming any names, but the black beans are great in there. Everything's great in there. Now, if you've never made burrito bowls or you've never had a burrito bowl, they're really simple. You're just basically going to put your rice in the bottom of a bowl, and then you're going to top it with the meat, okay? After the meat, you're going to put all the vegetables that you want on there, every single kind of vegetable. And it's best to use all hot vegetables because you don't want to cool the temperature down of it. And the juice from this meat is really good. So if you want to get a dipper and dip some of the juice and just pour it onto the rice, that's good also. Top it with all these vegetables that you have prepped here, whatever you like on there, and then you can drizzle queso over the top. You can sprinkle shredded cheese over the top, put some salsa on it if you like, and then just eat it without a burrito wrapper, or you can take a burrito wrapper and tear it up into small pieces and scoop that up and eat it like that. Or, like I said, you can pretty much do the same thing in a burrito wrapper. Just pile it all up in there. Your rice, your black beans, your meat, all your vegetables, put them in, and then very carefully attempt to close it, which is the most fun part about making a burrito.
You just have to remember to fold the bottom part before you roll it. So that way, the stuff doesn't fall out the end.
Exactly. It is a learning curve. I love when you go to like a burrito place, like Hothead Burritos, and they have those paper thin burritos that are lightly warmed, and they're like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like plastic wrap. Like what they do, the way they wrap those things up, they stretch that baby all around and get it to seal up. It's like a big piece of plastic wrap, and it goes right around everything. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, like if I tried that, everything would break out instantly.
Right, it would tear right in
never
half.
work.
And then I would lose my job at Hothead Burritos. I'd be out. So, but this is really good. This is one of the best beef recipes that I've found for using a beef roast in a burrito. It's very flavorful, but not over. It's not over the top, and it's not salty. There's no salt in it unless you want to add a little bit of salt, because a lot of times you do when you do these recipes, there's a lot of salt in them. It just takes away from everything. This one is really, really flavorful. You can add more chili powder if you want it to be hotter. You can add a little bit more hot seasoning. You can even add cayenne to it if you wanted it to be hotter in the pot cooking. But actually, just the way it is, it's really tasty. And I really liked it for making burrito bowls with it. It was really, really flavorful. It was really, really flavorful. We really enjoyed it. So I hope you give it a try. This is also another thing. What I typically do, I like to make things that I can get a few meals out of, or at least pack my lunch out of. And I really love this because what I did, after we had dinner, I made I have these glass containers with lids that I was able to make 4 burrito bowls in, and had enough stuff with it. And I had, lunches for us through the week, which was really nice. I like that. So this goes well in your lunch, heats well and eats well. This is just a handy little crock-pot recipe to have. And again, this would be a good thing if you were having a party. If you want to do something different for a party, it would be really easy prep. You could use a bigger roast, double the recipe, use a bigger roast, then you would have a lot more meat, and you could just have burritos or burrito bowls. It'd be really simple to serve. So great idea for a party, great idea for lunches, and a great idea for dinner. So I hope you give it a try, and let me know what you think.
And make sure to check us out online on Facebook and Instagram at Mary Mac Bakehouse, on Twitter at Mary Mac Podcast, and on our website, marymacpodcast.com.
Thanks a lot for listening if you did, and if you didn't, too bad for you.